Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning LaLa Land. Miss Audrey Hope is in the house. She is giving us a sense of inner peace this morning. Thank you so much for being with us today.
It's amazing to be here.
We know that you're a spiritual counselor. What does that mean?
Well, we are on a new frontier. We really are. Even though the world looks like it has a lot of problems, we are on the frontier of a new age, and it's the inner transformation of the human being. So what spiritual counseling is beyond the mind, beyond the rational mind. Because you know, people can tell stories about what ails them and they don't heal, and they can write a thesis. You have to go beyond the mind. You have to learn to shut off the mind and go to another level. And we have to learn the truth of who we are, right? We're really computers. We are multi-dimensional light beings. And we got to turn the lights on, and we don't know how to turn the lights on because we haven't been told. We've been tricked.
Well, when you're telling me to turn my mind off and turn the light on, that is one I can understand that, but so many people watching might not get what that means. How do you turn your mind off?
Well, don't you think of the past and the future? It feels like monkey mind all day long, the negative thoughts, right? So we have to vacuum our head. We actually have to vacuum it, and we have to find a way to stop it. So there are techniques to stop it. I could think of like 100 things we could do. Right. You could think of your mind as a fishbowl, and all the thoughts are fish, and move it in there. You can keep saying this, what the guru taught me, Srimataji Namala Devi, which every time you have a thought, not this, not this, not this. And so you start to see that first of all, you have to know you don't really need your mind.
So I'm not sure, because I lost mine.
So we're true believers that people's callings are in their name. So I love that your name's Hope, because I really believe that you truly give people hope. What would you say, like Rob just mentioned, I mean, one of his dear friends, we don't know what happened exactly, but passed away. And what would you say to somebody that's feeling hopeless? What would you say as a spiritual teacher?
I'll tell you, have you heard about Damian Brinkley, who got hit by lightning? It's a famous book, Saved by the Light. Well, he died from lightning, and he just died again. Yes. Right?
He's been multiple times.
Multiple times, right?
Hit by
so
lightning.
He talks about what what you see when you go over. Now that's very comforting. You see, if you have a spiritual perspective, if you really know what it's like, which he describes in his book, and what you know to be true. Come on, there's more than this. You won't be so afraid of death. It's just another dimension. It's just another way. I've lost a lot of people, especially last year. And I got through it pretty quickly because I knew how, you have to cry. You can't pretend.
But don't you believe that even if it's another dimension, that if they're sad here and they're not, you have to bring your consciousness with you, right? So there's nowhere to go.
There's nowhere to go, but you got to cry. You've got to really get it out of the body. It has to be a physical thing. You got to hit a pillow. Completely. You got to do it, because some people, I'm fine. And then it ends up turning into illness because you're holding it in.
I am the queen of compartmentalizing everything. I don't have time to deal. I've got to do X, Y, and Z.
Right. Yeah. So a fast way to be is what I said at the beginning of the show. I am now releasing my negative energy. One of the things I do is scan invisible energy. Like, for example, you think you could break up with someone and you signed a document maybe with the lawyer. That's not over. There's a cord there. So you have to scan what's really going on with people. And that's what spiritual counseling does. What's really going on in the soul and where you're hooked. Time doesn't mean anything. You could be hooked to someone, 20 years have passed and you're still thinking of your ex.
Completely.
So you got to cut the cords, and you got to do it, and you got to scan it.
So what's your personal story? How did you?
Oh, that is.
Yeah, I mean, usually spiritual teachers have been through hell and back, right? There's something wrong. We have to surrender to this.
And there you go. You have to know the spiritual path. When something happens and a terrible thing happens, hold on. Where you stumble, there lies your treasure, right? Something terrible can become a great thing. So I was in a car accident, and it was on the 101, and I actually heard everything just pop. And no one could help me. I mean, I was in a lot of pain. So I ended up looking deeper, going to spiritual people and moving on and doing that. And then I went to someone who said, just sit on the chair, Audrey. You're done with all your work, and just see what happens. See what comes in. So I actually did this experiment. You know how we're always doing do? Instead, just stay. I actually did this. And then I got a phone call. Come to rehab in Malibu and take a ride with us. And I did, and they hired me, and that was the beginning of, oh my God, okay, let's do this.
We talk about that a lot on here, that you can learn that if you embody it, stuff will start really just coming to you. And we've known that for like years, but we've been like kind of talking about a lot on the show that how much you really, when you do embody, it literally just shows up. Like it's amazing, right? What are some, magical or miracle things that you've experienced in your practice?
Connection to guidance, intuition. We all have intuition.
Of course.
And we're not told that. Our power has been taken away, and that's really sad. And so when you heal, it's not what other people do to us that's the problem. It's what we do to ourselves because of it. So it's the split, the soul splits, and you've got to bring it back through soul retrieval. And once that's back, and you get rid of the garbage and all the past and all that, then you can connect to a higher force. And let me tell you, that's where the magic is.
Yeah.
So Audrey, if someone wants to experience that magic, how can they find and work with you?
Well, you can find me. I have my own YouTube channel, Audrey Hope Now, and on the internet all over. I wanted to document the things that I've learned, and I wanted to share it. So I put it on the internet.
Well, thank
We
you for
love it.
sharing your
So
time
thank
and
you
your light and
so
your
much.
wisdom.
Really nice.
Stay tuned. We'll be back with more in Good Morning La La Land.
Thank you.